Are you tired of watching endless movies and shows about rich people? Have you ever been desperate to escape poverty but discovered that you're not really capable of it due to a lack of awareness, being dealt a bad hand, and anxiety about nothing ever good happening to you? Or have you ever told the police to kill your son as you crush a can of PBR while all dolled up at 10 in the morning? Well, this might be the movie for you. Last night I watched He Ran All the Way, a 1 hour 18-minute film noir from 1951 directed by John Barry. And this movie's really good. It's a perfect example of a small movie about people on the edges of society that's elevated by all the people involved with it in a way that you just kind of don't see anymore. A big complaint I have with a lot of modern shows and movies is that it feels like it's a never-ending wave of movies about powerful people or rich people. There have always been movies about kings and queens and rich people and so on, but I'm thinking of like Game of Thrones, Yellowstone, Mandalorian, any Marvel movie, Ted Lasso, Entourage, Ballers, and whatever off the top of my head. And like some of those shows are great and cool, but one thing I love about movies from the 40s and 50s, especially noirs, is how often they focus on really desperate characters in really desperate positions doing desperate things. The characters are not powerful. A lot of the times they're not even capable. They're not high agency. They're not smart or able to change their position. Or maybe they are generally capable, as in Night in the City or The Killing, two of my all-time favorite noirs, but they're just kind of unlucky and cursed. Sometimes bad shit just happens. And for me, one of my favorite things about movies and all art is that even if they do depress me, they generally only make me feel more connected and in touch with other people. They make me less lonely. Even if the movie is about loneliness, there's still a thing of someone else has experienced this feeling, and that makes me feel better, feel seen, feel valued. And I don't know how it is for my foreign viewers, but increasingly America feels very economically precarious and dangerous and social safety netless. I kind of think that's why season 1 of Squid Game and the movie Parasite in particular became such phenomenons over here. They were largely about very poor, desperate people who aren't the most capable or smart in ways that kind of seem missing from American media. Escapist fantasies like Marvel movies can be good. I mean, who doesn't want to imagine smiting their enemies? But even the baseline for a lot of this stuff is at least middle class or even upper middle class. When I watched The Breakfast Club in high school, it was harder for me to connect not because it was from the 1980s, but because I couldn't imagine having as nice a high school library as they had. I think some of that has to do with the same economic and societal factors as what's happened in journalism. Private equity ghouls looting the industry, causing all jobs to be more precarious, which means in many cases to be a journalist now, you have to have some type of wealthy background so that you can be supported while you build yourself up. And you generally come from a top US school full of rich kids. The New York Times kind of sucks at reporting on class issues. Well, what do we expect? 27% of Times journalists come from the 8 Ivy League schools, and like another 13% come from other private schools in the top 25 of college rankings. Now, I don't know if that's true in movies and TV, but it kind of feels like it. I think it's also a cultural issue. In America, we love venerating the rich and hustle culture and grindset mindset and all that shit. But for whatever the reason, it feels like there's just not a lot of stuff coming out in popular media that is about the economically precarious nature of living in America. As much as movies like this can make me sad, I love this stuff. It honestly makes me feel less lonely, and I think that's why I watch a lot of it. I have a hard time connecting with a guy that can shoot lasers out of his eyes or whatever, but a dumb guy trying to improve his life, failing at it because he doesn't understand society and he's so anxious about things going wrong that he kind of causes things to go wrong, well damn, it's kind of nice to see myself up on screen sometimes, I guess. So yeah, highly recommend. I love more modern movies like this. What do you think? Thanks again for watching, and please like and follow.